Hi. Uh, Sorry about the lighting. It's a bit weird. I'm on my balcony at the moment, but it was really nice out here. And so, yeah, it's just a little light that I have above in a little lantern, and it's like giving off a bit of weird light. Behind me is the sea, over here, the beach. So it's really nice. And I was just thinking about my surf retreats that I am doing starting at the end of this year in November. And I was thinking what what can I bring as an instructor for my students, and getting them to understand me a little bit more, or where I'm coming from, and what we're trying to achieve with the retreats as far as people's surfing goes. And that got me thinking about lots of my students and what are the common things that we go through. And the funny thing is, the biggest challenge that all of my students face and all surfers face, including myself, is ourselves. Like, we are the biggest problem. Your mind, not your mind personally, I don't know who I'm talking to here, whoever's listening, but you people in general, like, the biggest problem we have is in here. That's our greatest challenge when it comes to surfing. It's not the waves, it's not how powerful the waves are or what the waves are doing. It's not your lack of skills, because when you're instructing someone to surf, you do everything step by step, and you're going to fail all the time, as we all do all the time, because you're learning new skills, So the way we learn is by trying and trying and trying again and saying, okay, this time I did this and that was my mistake. Okay, now I understand. So the next time, I'll try something different, And as an instructor, it's very simple for me to see what steps that my students need to go on and how they progress, because surfing is quite structured in its way of learning, going on from one thing to the next thing to the next thing to the next thing. And that's what I do with my students is I try and get them to focus on one or two things throughout the session that they're working on, that they want to master, So it's working out what stages they're at, and then, learning those one or two new skills for the session or the next few sessions or whatever, however long it takes, and then mastering those and then going on to the next thing, right? So that's all quite mathematical in a way, mathematical, did I say that right? Sometimes my dyslexia kicks in and I'm like, what did I just say? Anyway, so yeah, that's quite straightforward. And the greatest challenge is not the waves, because, well, the waves are just doing their thing. It's how you move in the waves. Obviously, that's the challenge. But when we approach different waves and different size waves, we also should be doing that in a progression thing. Don't do what I did without instruction, is going out into waves that were way beyond my level of surfing at the time, and just, getting smashed and beaten up, because those are then the days that also, well, I mean, it can be dangerous for one, but that you're coming out of it just like, oh, I can't do it. What's wrong with me? I can't do it, And still, I have those days where I think I can't surf, I've been surfing for 20 years, and today I had 2 sessions and it was amazing. And I loved it. I had so many good waves. My turns felt incredible. I was like coming off the top. I was doing beautiful cutbacks. I was going fast, people were giving me compliments and everything. And I was like, yeah, this feels amazing. It just felt incredible, But 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I was out and it was slightly windy and choppy conditions, and for 2 hours I could not catch a single wave. And I just started to get into my head, and I was just like, what are you doing? You're messing this up. You're doing so bad. Come on, get it together. Why can't you get this? And I was literally thinking, I can't surf. I don't know what I think I'm doing out here. I can't surf, And other people were getting waves. All right, they weren't getting a lot. It was pretty shit conditions, but I was just so in my head, and we all do it. And that's the greatest challenge, is to try and get out of your head. And the lovely thing about doing surf retreats with a group of women, and in my retreats it's only going to be 4 people, because I want to really focus on those individual people to help them develop as many new skills and techniques as they can in a short amount of time, so that by the end of the week they've all learned something, a lot of things, and hopefully had some of the best waves of their life. That's my main goal for the retreats. But what point was I making here? When we get into our heads, yes, our greatest challenge is to get over that voice in your head. And when you've got people around you, like I had my friends that I was surfing with today, and we're all like, cheering each other on and everything, that's when you have your best waves, because you're out of your head. Or, instead of telling yourself the negative things, you've got other people around you telling you positive things, and supporting you, and that's great, and that's an amazing feeling, and that's what helps us improve a lot faster, because when we're feeling more relaxed and confident in ourselves, and having the encouragement and the feedback, and not beating yourself up about the feedback as well. Like, I can have students that can be all in their head in one lesson, and they're just like, oh, but I can't, and I keep hearing this. Or I can have students that are understanding that the one thing that they're trying to do, they don't do, but the third time they do, or the fourth time they've managed to do it. And so, but if they're not beating themselves up, instead they're going, yeah, that time I got it, which is how we all should be. It isn't like, I'm failing. It's like, okay, I failed, then I tried, but I forgot again, because there's so much going on in surfing. So of course you forget. The second time I remembered, but I didn't quite get it right. And then the fourth time or whatever, it came together and I got it. Oh my God, and it felt amazing. And that was my breakthrough moment, and try and hold on to that feeling and accomplish it again. You might not the next time, you might mess up again. But the point is, it's a different mentality. If you can understand that in this game, this fun, lifelong journey that we have of surfing, which we never stop learning, which also makes it super exciting that you never stop learning new skills with this sport, and it's always interesting. That you're gonna fail until you get it right. You're gonna keep missing slightly until you get that aha moment, until it just feels right and it just clicks, and then you're like, now I get it, brilliant. But the point is to not give yourself such a hard time all the way through. And you will still have bad days, and I still will have bad sessions for my own surfing as well. But as long as we can support each other and remind each other that you're doing well, just paddling out, just having the confidence to be out there and try something new is amazing, and overcoming your fears step by step is really great, and you should feel proud of yourself, So hopefully this has been helpful in some ways for some people, but I just thought I'd share that realization with everybody that this is our greatest challenge in surfing is just up here, you know. And once we can stop giving ourselves a hard time, realize all the great things we are doing throughout the session, and the things that we are improving step by step, and be proud of ourselves for that, then that's the great achievement, you know. And then we're having fun doing it. Like, we're supporting each other and having those moments, 1 second on the wave, 5 seconds on the wave, 10 seconds on the wave, whatever it is, you know. You had that feeling, you've had that moment, hold on to it, because it's like, yes, that's the magic. That's the whole point we're doing it, for the fun. Okay, that's it. Good night. Sorry about the lighting.